guys, welcome back to United View and welcome to the Chelsea and Manchester United and Chelsea combined 11. Joined by Matisse today. How you doing, mate?
I'm very good, bro. I was saying to you just before we started that this is going to be very, very close. It's tough.
Yes. We should establish the ground rules as well first because, as Erik ten Hag says, rules are important and they must be followed. You have to set standards, right? So the rules we have gone with are we're going to select from players that are available. So they would be available for the game this coming weekend, which I think makes Matisse's job a little bit more difficult today.
It does, unfortunately, yeah.
Yes.
If I had a few of my players that were readily fit and available to play, long day at right back, but you know, you guys are going to have to get this one.
It might be a different story. Right, so let's start off then. Goalkeeper. Now that's an interesting point for you. Who even is your number one at the moment?
It's Kepa at the moment. He's in the form of his life.
Yeah.
The form of his life, bro. He's been picking up man of the match awards for the last couple of games. He's been keeping clean sheets, 5 in a row at that point, and really picking us points up as well. You know, the game against Villa, he saved us. The game against Brentford, he saved us. So we could have easily maybe lost some of these games if he wasn't putting in the performances he's put in. And his distribution has been ridiculous as well. Distribution has been really good. He's passing in between the lines. He's calm. He's composed. He's helping our build-up play, sweeper keeping. He's been perfect in the last month or so.
So David De Gea is going to go in this team then?
So no.
Really?
No.
I'd say, look, I understand David De Gea. He will have his critics about his distribution. Actually, his distribution against Spurs on Wednesday was probably the best we've actually ever seen from David De Gea. We know his shot-stopping abilities. We know his reflexes. We know his consistency for Manchester United for over a decade at this point.
Yeah.
I would, in my team right now, and this isn't, actually it probably is some United bias, but I'd have De Gea. I'd have De Gea in this side. I think that looking at, from Chelsea's point of view, I don't know what's happened to Mendy. I mean, he was in the conversation of being right up there.
I think he got injured and then after that he kind of got left
out.
The case I would make for Kepa is he's winning us points. I don't feel like De Gea is winning you points as much as Kepa's winning us points.
Currently, yes, De Gea has won us points.
Before, but right now, Kepa's single-handedly at times getting Chelsea points.
I would have...
Man of the match. Has De Gea won man of the match last couple of games? Not really. He hasn't had to.
No, that's true. There's a lot of good points, but De Gea is better.
I think De Gea is at a situation where I can't say that you can say that he's just clear because he's had his ups and downs as well. Henderson was challenging.
As is Kepa.
Yeah, so they've both had their ups and downs. So I think we have to take it on current form, and that's why I think Kepa has to go in the team. Because De Gea, there was times where Man United fans were saying, should De Gea really even be at the club anymore? He's not very good as sweeper keeper. You know, he's giving the ball away. Brentford, it wasn't so long ago, he was giving the ball away. Kepa's not had any problems this season. De Gea has. So there's not been any Kepa disaster classes. Yeah,
but there have been in the past. I feel like Kepa's
season,
I feel like Kepa's always this close away from making a mistake.
It hasn't happened. We're talking this season. It hasn't happened. De Gea's had some howlers this season. I think it's got to be Kepa. I'm building a very strong case. He's in better form. His team needs him more, and he's in better form this season. No mistakes. No errors leading to goals.
I'm trying to do some maths of other positions later on. I always like to be tactical with this kind of thing. I'm willing to concede, like Kepa will this weekend. Come on. I'm willing to concede for that one. Okay, so you put Kepa in then. So you can put the Chelsea's up there.
Brilliant. First one on the board. It had to happen. I needed it.
Okay, Kepa in goal. Then we can switch right back to Manchester United since we're talking about the defence. Let's start at right back because that's easy. Right back. Yeah. It's got to be this guy, right? Diogo Dalot. It's got to be right back. Who else is there?
Yeah. I mean, well, that would probably have to be down there, wouldn't it? Yeah. I think for me, I like Dalot. I was saying it when Wan-Bissaka was playing ahead of him. I felt like Dalot needed a chance. Much silkier on the ball. Better going forward in any team that wants to dominate possession, be progressive, and actually be on the front foot possession base. I think he's clear and he's shown that. Lovely little step overs, crossing the ball.
Unnecessary step overs.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like the game's there to be entertaining as well. Do you know what I mean? And him and Anthony on that right hand side, they're entertaining. So can't complain.
And he's been a constant for United this season. He's played every game. You know, every minute of every game. That's what he does. The only concern would be burnout with him, to be honest, because he can't play every single game for United. But I think it also must be said when it comes to the shape of the team, Chelsea sometimes can play a back three, back five. What we're going with today? 4-3-3, would you say?
Yeah, we'll go 4-3-3 because you play a 4, we play a 4 sometimes. Yeah. We're not really set in a system, so we'll go 4.
Okay, right. Centre backs. Let's move on to centre backs. you want to start the conversation about centre-backs?
For me, in any combined 11, this man has to be in. Without doubt, legendary defender, has been brilliant again this season. He is ridiculous. He's an unbelievable footballer, unbelievable leader. And any team in a combined 11 that I come up against, he goes straight in. He's got the pedigree. He's got the performance right now. He's been there and done it. This Chelsea team as well is keeping clean sheets for fun at the moment. So for me, he goes in. He's got to go in.
I don't necessarily disagree. The only thing I would push back on is that, so for me, in an ideal world, I would have Martinez and Varane in there because their partnership is so great. Yeah. That's the only difference, I would say. I'm totally with you. I think Thiago Silva, since he's come to Chelsea, it's one of the rare cases of someone coming to the Premier League with a reputation and actually going, he surpassed the reputation. When he came to Chelsea and he came to the Premier League, at what age was it? Late 30s? Mid-30s?
Yeah,
people thought, one season, just coming to do his Premier League outing. And immediately he shows his class, he shows his quality, and wins the Champions League, of course, at Chelsea as well. And even at this stage in his career, he still has so much to offer. I think his quality is absolutely excellent. Yeah. But I would just say, with that, the Martinez and Varane partnership, they complement each other so well. The reason I'm going to allow this one, though, is because I do think Silva is somewhat similar to Varane.
Yeah, and I think he's a better footballer in terms of his ball-playing ability, better passer, better leader. So if you're going from an individual perspective, who are you trusting? For me, you're taking Silva over Varane. I saw Varane last season, people like to say it's all Maguire, but even against Arsenal when Maguire wasn't playing, Varane was still a mess. I think Varane needs somebody aggressive next to him. I think Martinez is the key. He's the one that has picked Varane up, and people will say maybe Ramos at Real Madrid was picking him up as well. So can he lead on his own? I'm not. I think the question marks are still there. So I'm happy to definitely go Silva and Martinez. I think it has to be.
Where is Martinez? He should be.
Where is he? We've lost him.
Oh, that's Ronaldo.
Exactly. So small you can't see him. Jesus.
There he is.
There he is.
Sandro Martinez goes in there. I think also as well, just touching back on Silva, is that one thing he probably does have over Varane as well is how often does Thiago Silva miss games?
He doesn't.
Really. Yeah. Even at this stage in his career, he doesn't miss games. But to the point about Martinez and Silva too, is that I think the reason the partnership works so well between Martinez and Varane is you've got, I would say polar opposites, but they complement each other so well. So you've got someone like Martinez who is aggressive, who is on the front foot, who is obviously, physically he might be smaller than other people, but at the same time, he'll use it to his advantage, he'll step up, he'll get behind defenders, and you've got someone like Varane, who is opposite in the sense of he'll drop off, still got enough pace and composure. He's calm at the back to sort of counteract maybe some erraticness of Martinez, you would say. So I think that partnership looks good. Left back.
For me, it's got to be a Chelsea player. Again, Malacia, he's kind of come out of the team now. Shaw's in it. It's very inconsistent over there. I've seen Malacia. I think he's had a decent start to the Premier League, but he has been skinned a few times. He's still young. Shaw can definitely not go into this combined 11 because he is the definition of inconsistency.
So what's this guy we're looking for?
So I'm looking at either Cucurella or Chilwell. I think in a back four, I think Cucurella right now is showing that he should be slightly ahead as a defender, and he's a bit better on the ball in terms of his passing. He's a lot more progressive. If this was a wing-back system and it was about crashing the box and it was about being a real threat, I would go Chilwell because I think his output in the final third is a lot stronger. But I think in a back four with Cucurella, and it's very close between these two.
I was going to say, how would you say he's settled so far, Cucurella? Because
I think he's been decent.
Huge fee. Ironically enough, now he's playing under the manager that he was playing under previously at Brighton, which I think actually probably does help him quite a bit. Yeah. But do you still think he's got a way to go to settle in? Is it going to take time?
He's still got to kick on. I think there's still another couple gears to go. I think right at the very start, him and Sterling were devastating down that left-hand side in the first few games. They were brilliant. Then there's been some moments where you could say, listen, especially against Aston Villa, I think him and Chilwell were definitely, they needed to improve. But I think overall, he's been good, very good on the ball. And for me, this is a replacement for Marcos Alonso. I'm very happy with that. Do you know what I mean? I'm very happy that he's replacing Marcos Alonso. He's quicker. Do you know what I mean? He's better on the ball. He's quicker with the pass. He's forward thinking. So yeah, I'm happy. with that for sure.
I'm happy with that back five. I still can't believe the Kepa thing.
It makes sense.
I'm already seeing these comments. I'm so sorry.
No, it makes sense, guys.
I couldn't think of any,
I had my reasonings. I'm sorry.
Matisse had the answers. I didn't have questions to come back with.
But I think at holding midfield...
Yes, let's go into it.
I'm not even going to debate this. I'm not. I refuse to be that biased. It's got to be Casemiro.
Absolutely. I think Casemiro, as someone that...
Yeah, unbelievable player.
He's taken a hot moment to really bed into Manchester United. He got man of the match against Everton, and I was surprised he got man of the match against Everton because he played well. At that point, it was the best game he had in the United shirt, but he was still sloppy on the ball. And we've seen that at points this season whereby... I don't know if it's adjusting to the pace of the Premier League. I don't know if it's adjusting to you're just not going to have the time on the ball that maybe you would have had previously at Real Madrid. But Wednesday night against Tottenham, he was immense.
Yeah.
He was immense. And this is why actually I'm excited to see how he plays at Stamford Bridge on Saturday, because clearly, and we knew this from Real Madrid anyway, he is a big game player.
He is.
In the big games, when it matters, when the pressure is on, he delivers. That's why he gets man of the matches in Champions League quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals, or Super Leagues when Super Cup final rather, earlier this season for Real Madrid. He delivers, and I think even at this stage in his career, was he 31?
He's still
highest,
he's in his prime.
One of the most expensive over 30 players ever, 70 million.
Yeah.
Took a while to come in because McTominay was playing well, and that's the manager's prerogative of players playing well. You stay in the side, wait for your opportunity, you get in, but he's still class.
With the money that's being spent nowadays and the gambles that are being taken, I don't think 70 million is bad. I think you know what you're getting. It's undisputed quality in that midfield. And when I was asked in the quick fire round with Flex there, I said, what player? I said Casemiro. Casemiro immediately, because he's the one player that there's a few, Silva, Casemiro. Some players, they're just undoubtedly world class.
Yeah.
They ooze quality. And even if it takes him a little bit of time, and McTominay needed his flowers as well because he was playing well. So I like the way Ten Hag didn't just throw him in. Do you know what I mean? He said, you know what, McTominay's playing well, we're going to wait. But at some point, this was always going to happen. He was always going to come in. We was just biding your time and waiting to see when it would happen. And regardless of whether he got off to a slow start or whatever, he was always gonna step up. So he's the type of midfielder that I wish we had. I'm not gonna lie, he's really, really good.
He's quality, especially in the pressure moments. And like I said, hopefully, Saturday he can deliver there as well. Okay, so who do you think should go alongside him?
This is where it gets very, very tricky. I know, I can see it in your face. You're thinking about your options. I'm thinking about my options. This is where the debate really does become very difficult for everybody. I'm going to throw in immediately, off the bat, I'm going to bring in Kovacic, if I can see him. And the reason why is because I feel like defensively, and I've seen Manchester United this season, Bruno and Eriksen, even when it's been McTominay, I think you guys haven't helped out your holding midfielder enough. And I want that balance in the midfield where I know that one of the players in this midfield are capable of going into that double pivot and helping in build-up play. Because there was some questions about Casemiro build-up play and when you get on the ball enough. Was it more Modric and Kroos and all this stuff? I don't think he's going to be horrendous in build-up play. But I feel like in build-up play, it would be great to have some help. And it would be great to be able to say, Casemiro, you got Kovacic there. First phase, press-resistant midfielder. He's good on the ball. He's a brilliant dribbler. He can carry the ball. His progressive passing is there. His key passes were really clear in the last game that we played as well. He was setting up chances. I think Kovacic, on his day, is probably one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. And I think he's been, for me, Chelsea's best centre midfielder over the last couple of years as well, over a consistent basis. In the big games, he's shown his class, and I think he's got to be in it for me.
I like Kovacic. I think he's a player. And you don't really sometimes see this nowadays in a lot of midfield players. You tend to find specialists that he can literally do a bit of everything. I think that, like you said, I think he can carry the ball well. I think when games get gritty and when they get quite aggressive in there, he can be an aggressive player. He can put a tackle in. I think, like you said, I think he's good for complementing other players as well. Sometimes I think he'll have games where other people around him might get the flowers of, oh, they were really good. But in actuality, it's because they've got the support from Kovacic alongside them or in behind them. So I agree. I'm not going to push back too hard on that one. I think Kovacic is a good selection. But I'm going to switch right back to Manchester United. Because, and this is a tough one, because...
Mason Mount's got to get in his team, Owen.
What?
Two-time player of the year, last couple seasons for Chelsea. He's in good form. Double against Aston Villa at the weekend. You know Mason Mount's got to get in this team. I don't mind whether you put him in the midfield or you want to put him in the front three because he's played both positions, versatile. But you got to make some tough decisions because we can't leave out two-time player of the year in the last 2 years. That can't happen.
I can put in Bruno Fernandes.
Is Bruno Fernandes consistent?
Bruno Fernandes, you can talk about consistency with Mason Mount.
This season.
Bruno Fernandes, since he's come into the Premier League, has anyone got more goals and assists combined than Bruno Fernandes?
If this was under Oli, then fair. Bruno goes into the team. But we're talking about the last calendar year. And for me, in that calendar year, Bruno's been inconsistent. He's been inconsistent this season. To be fair, Mason has been inconsistent as well. I'm surprised that you're not putting Eriksen in. Because I think Eriksen is a better footballer than Bruno. I think he's a better...
I would want to put Eriksen in,
but
I think in terms of that midfield there, that can be somewhat defensive. We need someone that can have a little bit of an X factor, which Bruno is. Bruno is an X factor. Bruno can have terrible games, to your point, but Wednesday night against Spurs, he created 9 chances, the most any player has done in the Premier League in over a year, since September 2021. Is Mason Mount ever going to do that in a game? Is Mason Mount going to create 9 chances?
Probably, yeah. Mason's a brilliant footballer. I don't know statistically if he's done that, but this is, like I said, two-time player of the year last couple of years. Champions League. Do you know what I mean? He's shown his pedigree. Seeing as you want to go all the way back to Oli, I'll go back to all the way when Mason.
Bruno scored goals in Champions League.
Yeah, but he doesn't want the Champions League. He hasn't got. When Bruno plays
Mason
the big
Mount goes
games,
to Wembley and loses games.
When Bruno plays the big games, do you see him showing up often enough outside of that Tottenham one? Not really. Mason does show up in the big games. We've seen it at Liverpool. We've seen it at San Siro. We've seen it in the Champions League. For me, Mason's a better footballer. If you want to put Bruno in because he wants to play hero ball and sometimes he likes to be the guy, then fair enough, because Ronaldo's not going to get in this team, so probably Bruno will play a bit better. But I think Mason's the better footballer.
So what you're telling me is Bruno Fernandes is going into that team?
I'm telling you that I want Mason in that team, and if you want to put Bruno in there, then that's on you. But I'm not really here for it.
Well, then I'll put it in. I'm putting it in anyway. Actually, you know what? Actually, we can put Mason Mount in. Leave it to the comments.
I know what the comments are going to say.
Well, no problem.
I know. Do you know what? I think the comments might go Eriksen. Because I know Eriksen, listen, Eriksen's a great footballer. I don't think anybody's going to be in doubt about that. I think Eriksen's a better player than Bruno. And if I'm being honest, if it was Eriksen there, I would be happier to leave Mason Mount out. And I get what you're saying about the defence of this team, but I think Eriksen was always traditionally an attacking midfielder anyway. So
no, I agree with you with the Eriksen thing. I mean, look, when he didn't play before the game against Spurs, we were saying, oh, he's got to play because we missed him so much against Newcastle. But you do see like the performance against Spurs, and it is one game from Bruno, but you just see what he can do, what he can offer. And when he's on, he can offer so much to a side that I just don't know if Mason Mount can. But the comments can decide that one. Let us know in the comment section below. Bruno Fernandes,
Aston Villa,
Mason Mount,
top corner,
or Christian Eriksen, who we haven't put on there. Right, attack. Which side do you want to start on?
Well, if we're being honest, both of our attacks could be better. Output has not been guaranteed this season. When I look at the top scoring list, I don't see either of our players particularly doing great up there. If we're going in this combined 11 and we're going on pedigree, Raheem Sterling, wherever he is, really has to be in the team. I know that he hasn't been.
Which side? This side?
Yeah, on that traditional left-hand side, or right. But I think right-hand side, we know who we're gonna bring up. I think Sterling, for me, he started the season like a house on fire.
Yeah.
He was basically our best attacker.
He was playing a striker a lot, wasn't he, as well? Because he didn't have one.
He was clear, absolutely clear. Now, there's been a bit of a drop-off, but not enough of a drop-off where because he still almost scored at the weekend against Villa, and he was still dangerous at times. But there's not enough of a drop-off for me to say that anybody else on our side of things, on that left-hand side, even for you guys with Sancho, I don't think he's delivering. He's struggling for consistency. I mean, in a really impressive performance on Wednesday, he was probably, I said the worst player, sounds really harsh, but he was just, you want more from him. Certainly, I don't think he can do what Sterling can do, whereby he can get the ball and attack a fullback, and the fullback's wondering, am I going to be able to deal with him? Sancho can't do that. That's not his game. Technically, Sancho is very good, but there is still a lot of adjustment to go. And I think Raheem Sterling, I'm one of those people that I do think he's
almost underrated in terms of his goals and his contributions to the Premier League. I mean, consistently, he has done it for a really long time. And how old is he still? 27, 28?
Yeah.
You know, he's still got time to go. I thought it was a snip when you signed him in the summer.
Yeah.
So I think he's a quality player. And I think that he has something which even today, not a lot of wingers have, which is pace.
Yeah.
He has pace to get at people.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to have Sterling there. Right-hand side.
Yeah.
And we'll get on striker in a second. Right-hand side. Where is he? Not him. I want.
Please tell me you're going to go with who I think you're going with.
This guy.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Anthony. And
Fine.
what I do like actually about this team already, you've got a Chelsea left, you've got a Manchester United
There's balance.
right.
Yeah.
There's balance. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Sure.
Anthony, I think that I've said it before. I think we've only scratched the surface when it comes to him.
Yeah.
I think he has been. Even in the, it's funny because the games that he scored in, you would say that that was the only thing he really did in those games. Sometimes he hasn't contributed as much. Yeah. Against Spurs in the week, he was excellent. He was really excellent. I think he tracked back and supported his fullback Dalot excellently, and which is what Ten Hag wanted. When he cuts in, it's going to be funny actually how defenders start to react to Anthony, because clearly you can see exactly what he wants to do. Always wants to cut back inside, whip it. And
that's why I had Cucurella, because of this guy. I think the pace battle is going to be nuts over there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So he always wants to cut back inside, and it's going to become a point for him of going, the defenders know what you want to do.
But can you stop him?
Yeah, that's the point.
People knew what he was going to do.
People like Mahrez is a good example as well.
And they still can't stop him.
Exactly, and they still do it. So I've got really high hopes for Anthony. Obviously, he's young, huge transfer fee, not his fault, but the only thing you can do is score goals and contribute, which he has. He was unlucky against Spurs, hit the outside of the post. He was the first Man United player to get 3 goals in his first three Premier League appearances. So I think, as I said, I think we've only scratched the surface when it comes to him. So I like Anthony on the right-hand side. And striker, what are we going with at striker?
Usually, Chelsea struggle in this conversation to have a striker. But I think if we can keep going, somebody's going to pop up here in the name of Aubameyang. And this guy is too good of a finisher and has shown his class already in the Chelsea shirt. And he hasn't been playing every game, but he's shown it already, because Brozier played against Brentford, that he's just a level above finishing-wise. And I don't think Rashford can chat to him. And I don't think Martial, who's injured a lot of the time, can chat to him. And Ronaldo definitely is not chatting to him. So for me, there's no way anybody's going to go into that team over Aubameyang. Not form-wise and not even quality-wise. I think Rashford was good against Tottenham, but we saw it in the finishing. If that was Aubameyang, he's putting that in the back of the net, one of those chances minimum, maybe 2.
I think it's interesting. The striking, as soon as I knew we were getting towards the centre forward, it's an interesting one because even though you've got Aubameyang, and Aubameyang's a great player, don't get me wrong, but I still think even Chelsea fans would be like, well, it's not the long-term future choice. It's still a stopgap. It's a good stopgap to have, but it's still a stopgap. Yeah. United, on the flip side, we don't really have much to offer in this conversation.
You don't. That's the thing.
Ronaldo, look, he's not playing at the moment. He's not going to be playing. Well, he definitely couldn't be in even if he wanted him to be because he's not available for the weekend, right? He's been dropped from the squad. Yep. Martial, unavailable. So it only leaves Rashford, and Rashford's most effective off the left-hand side. He's doing a job up front, and I think he's doing a decent job up front. But ironically, Rashford's going to get more goals playing, and he would get more goals playing as a left winger as opposed to being a striker. Yeah. Because he's going to get more space. Yeah. In an Erik ten Hag system, the striker really, yes, you've got to be scoring goals, but it's about your hold-up play, your back to goal, which Rashford can't really do. He does a job, as I mentioned, just to get through the game. But
this is why Eriksen, for me, would be better, because he'll create chances for these 3, whereas this guy wants to score 2. And then it just becomes a little bit too imbalanced. So I'm just weighing in there, guys. Maybe Eriksen has a shout in this comment section. I wouldn't even. Yeah. Do you know what? I think just to cause absolute havoc in the comment section.
It'll be in there somewhere.
Because everybody knows I'm not really a massive fan of. I'm not a massive fan of Bruno. I think Bruno's a little bit of an inconsistent player with what you're gonna get. This man isn't. I think Eriksen's class. I think it's between them 3. But I would lean, if I was going Man United, I'm definitely taking Eriksen over Bruno. So I would leave all 3 of them there. We'll see what they say.
Yeah, I mean, I understand your point, but I think also with Bruno there, I just think that I really like that combination there of Kovacic and Casemiro, and I feel like they can offer a player like Bruno that license to roam,
the freedom,
to try those, like you said, the 1% passes that he does do, and it is frustrating.
Yeah.
But I also look at that front three and I say that's quite calculated. There's flair in there, but I think you just need someone that might be a little bit more of an X factor. I don't want it to be too safe in that middle three, and I think
these two have both been inconsistent. So
yeah,
I think the debate is so difficult in there. Yeah, I think it is.
But there you go. That's the start. That's the combined 11. Let's go through it once again. You've got Kepa in goal, Cucurella at left back, Martinez and Silva. That's a centre back pairing and a half, isn't it? Diogo Dalot at right back. Midfield three is Casemiro as the defensive midfielder, Kovacic alongside him, and then the debatable position. You've got your Mount, Eriksen or Bruno Fernandes. Let us know in the comment section below.
Yeah.
Left wing, you've got Raheem Sterling. Centre forward is Aubameyang, and your right winger is Antony. So did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? Let us
Rashford.
know. I mean, the thing is, though, I mean,
where did Rashford get in? He's not getting ahead of Aubameyang because he's not good enough finishing wise. We saw that against Tottenham. I don't. Well,
it would be there, but I'm not.
Everything Sterling's done.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure as a winger, I don't think we could ever say Rashford's a better winger than Sterling.
I mean, you could make an argument. I can't even make an argument for Antony. But I can't make an argument for Antony because if Rashford's on the right-hand side, he's not effective.
He's not as effective.
He's not as effective on the right-hand side.
He's got something in him.
We bought a right winger because we didn't have any right wingers at the club. Yeah. I.e., when Rashford or Sancho was playing,
it would have to be Sterling on the right and Rashford on the left. That's the only way, because Sterling is good on the right as well. That's the only way you get in. But I think I like Antony. I'll stick with Antony.
The reason I would have Antony there is because I feel like he offers that intangibles.
On the ball, I think he's better.
The skillfulness that Rashford doesn't have, and then you could argue, well, where's the pace coming from? The pace is coming from there.
To balance out the attack, you want a chance creator. I think Antony's going to create more chances than a Rashford would.
But look, it's all about opinions, folks. You can let us know in the comment section below. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well, bottom right-hand corner. Remember, you can join the UV Members Club as well. Links in the video description. Get your badges, your emojis, such as a red and yellow card, which we both might get after some of these decisions.
Come on, Butcher. You know what to do.
And you can let me know if I've been too much of a pushover, because there's, I think, 6 Chelsea players possibly in there.
But we're the better team, though. You know that, right?
Whoa. I didn't say the better team.
Come on. Well, you don't think we're the better team?
We'll see on Saturday.
We play Champions League, you play Europa League. I thought that was enough.
Oh, you're bringing that up a lot, aren't you? Who got the manager sacked this year so far?
Same players.
Check the watch.
Running out of time, unfortunately.
Exactly, yeah. So be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and we'll speak to you again very soon. Peace.